You guys can't hear it.
Yes,
Let's.
we can.
Oh, you can
No.
hear it. Oh,
No, I'm
Yeah,
listening to
we
it.
can hear.
all right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm JJ. This is Deacon. That is Dave, and we are your internet dads. We meet here Monday through Friday ish to talk about news and stuff. News and super important things. Things are going to matter to you today that you don't even
Turn
know
your,
they're going to matter to you.
Turn your volume up a little bit. For some reason, it's gotten low.
I'm low.
Yeah.
I'm low.
Low.
Mhm.
Hold on.
Low. How low can you go, JJ?
I don't. Let's see.
Whoa.
We are not a professional organization, so if that's what you're looking for, click, click.
We do have professional dad jokes.
There we go. I think I got it now. Let's check.
Yeah, it sounds better. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Good morning, folks. First of all, JJ, why is the show late? I know you're worried. Worried. The reason is it's my kid's birthday. So instead of getting up and getting here early to hang out with you guys, I took my daughter to breakfast, and we had American flag pancakes because we were true patriots. Even my little 7-year-old daughter, she's now 7, super patriot, and she wanted American flag pancakes, and that's what she had for breakfast.
Awesome.
Sweet.
I hope she has a great day.
Me too.
How would you do that? Would you do like blueberries and
Yes.
strawberry?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
And-
Yeah, I'm
and-
going with the
and
red,
then
white, and blue.
cream.
Whipped cream.
Whipped cream. That's
okay.
beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something
God
else.
bless
I was
America.
I was thinking of pancakes that had food coloring that looked like a flag.
Mm.
But you actually had pancakes with blueberries, strawberries, and whipped
No,
cream.
yeah.
That's
Right.
awesomer. Okay.
Yeah, it really is good. All right. So today is her birthday. So happy birthday, darling. You should not be watching this, but if you ever do,
Watching the show.
if for some reason you search your birthday on my channel many years from now, happy birthday, sweetheart. All right. Let's talk about some important news. Deacon, yesterday, was it yesterday? You mentioned on the story, you played a little video clip of Kamala Harris at Pittsburgh and at Detroit. Do you remember playing that?
Yes.
I don't know if you still have that or not, but
Yes, I do.
let's see.
Would you like me to play
So-
it again?
Yeah, because it was a little
Please,
choppy yesterday, and it really kind of sets the context for today. So
Okay. Make me the moderator.
you already are moderated.
Okay. Look at you being
Ooh.
on top of things.
Trying to catch up.
Okay, so here we go. This was the speech.
You better thank a union member for the 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
That's right. Preach
better-
on.
I was just going to say that has a very
That
sermon-esque.
has
Absolutely.
the rhythm of someone who's never been to church but has seen them on TV a couple of
Okay.
times, and is
Here's my no
performing an
comment.
imitation. So, in Detroit, it appears that Kamala Harris remembered some of her mythological roots that she doesn't really have, and did a bit of a put on of a voice, which is totally normal. It's totally normal. Folks, you guys do it too. You go into a room, and that room has people talking a certain way, and whether you mean to or not, most of you will start to mirror a little bit. The way they act, you act a little bit. It's subconscious. It's you fitting into the group, right? It's just mirroring. It's normal. And when she was in Pittsburgh, she didn't seem to have that same dialect or timbre to her voice. So the White House press secretary was asked about this, and so here's the story. Karine Jean-Pierre dodges question about Kamala's fake accent. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Of course, you know.
She said, I have no idea what you're
I have no
talking
idea what
about.
you're talking about.
Here we go.
And
let's go
another very useful trick in the handbag of a liar. Remember, we've talked about this before, and all of the little tricks that liars do that I have used before, okay, in my lifetime. That's another one. If you flat out deny, and never go back on.
Right. I mean, you get points for consistency, even if it's bald-faced, untrue.
You sure do.
Well, he didn't flip-flop his story.
Yeah. As somebody that has used that before in the past that I'm not proud of, but I now, because I have used that and know it, I can recognize it now.
Yeah. Here we go.
A different topic. Since when does the vice president have what sounds like a Southern accent?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
I mean, this is.
She was talking about unions in Detroit using one tone of voice.
Is this something that
same
you think?
line?
Okay.
She used the same line in Pittsburgh, and it sounded like she at least had some kind of a Southern.
I mean, do you hear the question that? Do you think Americans seriously think that this is an important question?
Yeah,
we
do.
They care about the economy. They care about lowering costs. They care about healthcare.
Okay, thank you. That you don't answer any questions on. Right now, the question is what's
they care about. Your colleague just asked me about what basically we talked about. Went back and forth about democracy.
She's so diverting.
That's what they care about. I'm not even going to entertain.
She's got her invisible shield up.
It's just, it's just hearing it sounds so ridiculous.
Well, but hearing it
does sound
the question.
so
I'm talking about the questions is
hearing her accent sounds ridiculous.
How she talks in meetings.
I'm just. We're moving on. We're still moving on.
Peter Ducey. Ducey's hilarious. He said, "Is that how she talks in meetings?" Oh my god! Oh my god! That's so great. Oh, good. Is that how she talks in meetings? All right.
I think the thing, I mean, we're laughing at it and whatnot, but the thing that is very upsetting is the fact that these press secretaries are a useless wart that needs to be, they are worthless. They come out there and they repeat crap, that talking points that they want you to hear, which is about 99.9% chance that it's a freaking lie. And then they will not answer any questions unless it's a softball question by somebody that's on their damn payroll, so to speak, anyway. And when somebody asks a question that points out, I mean, even a little thing like this, come on. You people are saying that Donald Trump was using going to this Labor Day shit as a freaking political thing, then we should be able to say her changing her accent if she went to freaking Louisiana, I'm sure she'd start talking like this. You know, she went to Louisiana. You think she was on a little you know?
Sounds Spanish right now.
Well, it's kind of a mixture. I have to listen to the accent before I get into it. It's hard for me to just bap out of my head. I have to listen to it and then I can mock it. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Okay. So one, it's gaslighting. It is straight up in your. You can see it, and you're like, "What is this?" And she's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. What is that?" It's not happening. No, it's obviously happening. So it's gaslighting. The two, the job of a press secretary is to lie, and she is. And now it isn't entirely lying, but it is to filter the reality down to whatever bullet points the administration wants to promote as their agenda.
No,
so that's her job.
Drive the White House narrative. Yeah, you're driving the narrative bus. It's your job to go left and right.
Should that be the White House press secretary job? No, maybe not. I mean, like it starts like this.
By definition, that's what it is.
Right, that's what it is. We can have an argument about whether or not we need a White House press secretary. It starts with this. There's only so many hours in the day. There's only so much time, and the president cannot be standing in front of media answering questions all day. So to make things more efficient, they take the messages of the administration and they hand it to the media through the press secretary, right? That sounds like, oh, well, that sounds more efficient. It sounds like a good use of people's time. And then duplicitous people in power want to hide the stuff they're doing or pretend like they're not doing things. And now they have a puppet press secretary that just says literally whatever you put in front of her, whatever the script is. She doesn't care.
They all done that.
Yeah.
We are 4.5 years. We're 4.5 years from the 100th anniversary of the press secretary. This position's only been around since Herbert Hoover, and it was basically a way to get out the president's message.
Mm-hmm.
And
because of the technology,
it's reversed. Yeah, it was mostly radio stuff at the
One
time.
of Herbert Hoover's many great innovations for our country.
That in the vacuum.
But
that's the name
on
guy?
the same hand,
I think it's the same guy.
on the same hand, look at history. It was mainly in the major newspapers that would filter out. The littler newspapers would get their stories from the major ones. All right. So you had to send it to the major city newspapers, which wasn't very many. And you were on radio, which there wasn't very many radio stations. Okay. And it was very easy to steer the narrative. It was so much easier in history to steer the narrative than it has been in our lifetime because of the invention, even in half of our lifetime, from the time we were 20 to now, the whole way that the world has done this for thousands of years has changed in the last 20 years. And I don't think we've seen this. So that's why you get this. Is it real? Is it fake? How can I believe this crap?
I think
I believe this. This has been said this way for 200 years. And now you're just now saying this. Yes.
It's expedited now.
It's volume.
I would definitely say
volume, guys.
Expedited by like
it used to be
20.
It used to be that
It's
you
the
only
same
had to
story.
lie a few times on paper and it got printed and disseminated across the country, or lie
Depends
a
on
couple
who
times
said
on
it
TV
too.
and then distribute across the country.
There was
Because
respect for
they would
individuals in
check stuff.
office. So if they say
They have
something,
to dump lies on you all day long, because otherwise you'll start pulling threads and be like, hold on, this isn't true. This isn't true. This isn't true. So it's all day long they're dumping lies on you. Anyway, now let me postulate a question to you guys, because let's go back to Kamala Harris, Pittsburgh, Detroit. She goes to Pittsburgh, she talks like someone from Pennsylvania. She goes to Detroit, she talks like someone from Detroit, or what she thinks someone from Detroit sounds like. I think she ought to take that and crank it to 11. Okay. I think we ought to, every time we turn on the camera, she ought to look different. Like in some places she needs to have like, I don't know, do-rag and like a grill, or cowboy boots and a bandana around her neck. And like, how would you look if you were talking to the mountain folk in Virginia or Kentucky? Like, what would you look like?
Pretty certain I wore this same shirt when I was in Virginia.
Mountain folk, though. Like, you know.
Yeah. It's just
no, you're not getting it. It's not real mountain folk. It's cartoon imaginary mountain folk.
No, that's okay. The cartoon imaginary mountain folk that actually do exist, they don't vote. They don't come out. They don't do stuff like that. I'm being 1,000% real.
Yes, he is.
They don't do that. The mountain folk, the people that live in the mountain region. I mean, when I went over there to our sister radio station that was up on top of the very top of the mountain, when you drive around the neighborhood from this mountain going up, I asked the girl, or my it was a sister station employee. I was like, how do people mow your yards here? It's literally like a 40-degree angle on some of these yards. And she's like, very carefully. I'm like, yeah. Do you tie a rope to your push mower and like let it go down and pull it up? I had serious questions. I was like, for real, we have hills. You know, we have my town was built on 7 hills, just like Rome. So,
for instance, okay, so just think about some other places. Like, think about this. What if Kamala Harris wanted to get to earn the vote of like Amish people?
They don't vote.
Oh, that's not true. That's not true. Look here. Look, they're rolling down the street right now with Trump flags. Okay. White stripes don't ban us. That's not cool. Look at this. So Amish people are voting Trump. So Kamala Harris needs to get out there and get in a long dress, apron, put her hair up in a hat or whatever they do. Maybe churn some butter. Yeah. Earn the Amish vote. That's what I think. I think she needs to take mirroring up to levels we haven't even seen before.
I don't know if the Amish would vote for a female president regardless.
She's going to have to work hard. She have to churn a lot of butter, milk some cows.
I think that's more a patriarchy.
I mean, please don't imply that the Amish are misogynists and they would never vote for a woman. Don't do that.
No. Well,
Dave,
I just
asked you not to do that.
I didn't say misogynist. You said misogynist. I said patriarchy. There's a difference.
That was great. I love that. Dave, please, I just asked you not to do it. There's a lot of Amish around my neck of the woods. Is there in where you're at, Dave?
There's a substantial population of Amish and Mennonites.
What kind of products do they make?
Too. Yeah,
butter,
Amish
milk,
and Mennonite.
Like, what kind of products do they make?
They got a Mennonite
furniture.
store that's furniture, houses, shingles, roofs, stuff like that,
really?
windows.
Yeah,
and it's high quality. Let me tell you, these Amish roofing guys over here, you want the Amish to do your roof, it might be 2026. You need to call and get on the list, man.
But they'll do it in a day.
But they do it in like a day and a half.
And it's cleaned up.
Would you like a barn with that? We'll put a barn up too.
It's quality. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's a Mennonite store that's not too far from us that you can go over and get like butter and bread. And I just had some of their bread that a buddy gave me half a loaf. He's like, I've had so much of this, and it was bacon, egg, and cheese bread.
Look here, Smash says this: the Amish in Pennsylvania are huge Trump supporters. Her sister lives up there that way and said they have signs on their buggies even. So that's not just a fake Twitter video or fake X video.
Her sister is very involved with the Republican Party and has been for a long time. Her sister and her sister's husband, very upper echelons of the stuff too.
Real estate gets you there, right?
She is very, very.
Ash, you want to float your website for your realty company up here?
Yeah, if you would like to buy a house in Kentucky, which you should DM me right now, and I'll put you in touch with an excellent realtor.
Actually, can you sell houses in my area?
Yes, she will, but please don't have her go look in Litchfield. Freaking
no!
I gotta show a house in Elizabethtown. What? No, you don't.
You go with her next time.
That's true.
Like my backyard.
I know that's true.
Oh, look at she's putting it up here. Look at that. So this is smart. This is smart. Ashley Pugh at xprealty.com. exprealty.com.
In that bad boy.
exprealty.com.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So hey, keeping on politics and religion.
Yeah. Okay.
Staying on politics and religion. Check this out.
Yeah.
Donald Trump calls for religious revival in America. I saw this morning. I was like, well, that is interesting. I read it to my wife, and my wife had a bit of a knee-jerk reaction just to the word religious, which is a loaded term for sure. But
knee-jerk reaction to the word revival.
Okay, sure. But let's listen to what he has to say. Donald Trump. Now we talked about him being in an interview the other day on Theo Vaughn, and that is actually one huge kind of demographic to attack. But he was also he took an interview with Lex Friedman, which is a completely different demographic. Lex Friedman is I think he was he worked for NASA or something like that. He's a
very straightforward interviewer. Him and Theo are completely opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to interviewers.
Right.
And I watched a lot of that, a lot of the clips from his interview as well. And it was very more straightforward. It was an interview, whereas Theo and Trump were having a conversation.
Yeah, they were doing entertainment that touched on heavy concepts, maybe, a little bit. But Lex Friedman is going to do like policy and like Lex Friedman is a smart person,
which is needed, and that's great.
Yeah. Not that Theo Vaughn isn't smart, but we're talking like Lex Friedman is like a genius person.
It's a complete, but it's a completely different interview.
Yeah. So in this interview, here, well, let's just it's a minute. Let's just listen for a second.
One of the tragic things about life is that it ends. How often do you think about your death? Are you afraid of it?
Wow.
I have a friend who's very, very successful, and he's in his 80s, mid 80s. And he asked me that exact same question. I turned it around. I said, well, what about you? He said, I think about it every minute of every day. And then a week later, he called me to tell me something. And he starts off the conversation by going, tick, tock, tick, tock. Yeah. This is a dark person, in a sense, but it is what it is. I mean, if you're religious, you have, I think, a better feeling toward it. You're supposed to go to heaven, ideally not hell, but you're supposed to go to heaven if you're good. I think our country's missing a lot of religion. I think it really was a much better place with religion. It was almost a guide, to a certain extent. It was a guide. You want to be good to people. Without religion, there are no guardrails. I'd love to see us get back to religion, more religion in this country.
So,
who was he talking about? I missed that part of it because I had to talk on the air.
He didn't give the name of that. He didn't give the name of his friend. He was just saying he has a. When Lex asked him that friend, he took that question. He took that question. He related a story about him having that same conversation with his friend. He didn't name the friend.
Okay.
Who's also in his who's older actually. So, this is about there is a personal religious benefit to believing in God and having a faith system, in arguably over the antithesis of that, which would be like, atheist or agnostic or whatever. There's a certain personal religious benefit, but I think Trump here is touching on the fact that a society cannot exist without something that undergirds all of it together. That is, we cannot actually have a society unless the majority of us actually believe that there's an eternal consequence for doing evil in this world, and therefore a reason to do good. An eternal consequence for doing evil to other people, and therefore a reason to do good to other people. And that's interesting. That is something that we don't hear political figures really talk about. Like that, it's the firmament upon which our society can be built. When you guys think about this now, Dave, you obviously have a particular vantage point, sure. And then Deke, what do you think about that?
So let me back up and explain the revival comment. I was asked to preach a revival last October, and I probably will not be invited back because I said how it was. I told the people that you don't need revival. Stop asking for revival. Revival is for people who are dead. What you need is repentance. You need to recognize the wrong things that you're doing, stop doing those things, then turn towards the right things you're supposed to be doing. That's what repentance is. Then I think we can talk revival, because everything will be made new. Everything will be growing up. So we always want revival, great American revival, stuff like that. And it irks me. I do wish that we were a more faith-aware society, even a society that might exist that has no religion whatsoever. Their government becomes their religion, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. I don't believe there's. Yeah. I was talking with a buddy a couple months back. He's one of my reenactment buddies that we camp out at 1700 stuff. And he is a little older. He's in his 60s. and he is an agnostic or an atheist. He classifies himself as both. He said what he fears.
Does he believe in anything?
He doesn't know.
Oh.
And so I
Well,
would say that
neither do
makes
we.
him an agnostic.
Okay.
But he states he doesn't believe in God. He just doesn't know. And I'm like, so what happens when you die? And he said, and that's the question that scares him more than anything. Because it's it. That's it. It's all over. I'm like, and when are you going to die? And the conversation got really, really great. But I think,
I love
props,
talking. I love talking to
Go ahead.
those guys that have that kind of attitude, because I like to start going into the, there's science brain. Do you believe in this? And do you believe that science says that we are that we have electrical impulses in our body, that we're that we have electricity? Well, your science also says that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change form. So according to your science, our human bodies are energy. So according to your science, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change form. So when this body dies, where does that energy go? Well, as Christians, we call that energy. We don't call it energy. We call it a soul. And we say that soul goes here. You don't die. So that according to all of your science, this is what we've been saying. We're just saying it a different way and using different words. I love to get into that conversation with. I've done that before with a couple of people.
So as far as the revival term, and how controversial that may be, I'm not sure that Trump actually used that word. I'm not sure that's actually his kind of
I think that's just
so that's that is the people writing the story wrapping the concept up in the word, but you got to disentangle that word from anything that Trump was actually talking about. So
right. And I didn't say Trump was saying that, but that article headline.
It put it in the. It definitely got my attention. Got me to check this out. The former president said he immediately knew he had been hit in the air and added it was a miracle that his head was facing the direction of the shooter while showing the chart. He said, "For those people who don't believe in God, we gotta all start thinking about that." Trump said that. I'm a believer. Now I'm more of a believer, I think. If I hadn't turned my head, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So you can, many people are going to just be skeptical of any kind of faith claims that Trump says, because they're gonna contrast that with everything else they know about him. And to those people, I'm like, well, I'm amazed that you are able to read minds and souls and stuff like that. I can't do that. So I'm just going to take him on his word. And also, I'm not, I know what I believe. I believe him when he says that he believes in God, and he also juggles a lot of other balls. So, he's not a preacher. He isn't a publicly religious figure in that sense. But I think it's interesting that he brought
these conversations need to happen more
back to public discourse.
Yes,
in a way that is actually palatable to people who maybe are. And he's not up there. He's not strictly advocating Christianity, but he's saying that we need to have a.
He said religion.
We need to have a public. I think we need to reconcile our secular public life with the fact that we used to have, the American culture used to have a religious tenor to it that has been waning for many, many years. And that could be
who was it recently that said in the 50s, if you skip church, you were weird. Today, if you go to church, you're weird. Someone just recently said that. I don't remember who it was. But yeah.
That says a lot about people and churches.
Yeah.
To me.
Yes. I mean, church isn't always a good place.
Lots happened in 70 years with people, religion, and money.
Yeah.
That's been going on for about 2,000 years. But
anytime you have power structures, you're going to have people trying to take advantage of it, no matter how well-intentioned.
Well,
that's true.
That
doesn't discount the fact that if you don't go to church, and some people are like, oh, I can experience God without going to church. Okay, sure. But can you experience worship? Can you experience community? Can you experience the bonding of yourself to the people in your community that you are not related to, that people that you have tenuous connection to.
What if this person that has found their own religion through their own worship through their own way had went through and tried to be a part of the community and was accepted and then not, and then they tried again later and the same thing happened, and they tried to go to the leaders of the preachers, and I have questions about this, and they were dismissed and thrown away and made feel like that they didn't belong, or they were weird because they had questions that God made them ask in their brain. But when I try to ask, when they try to ask someone, they give them a bullcrap answer and shoves them away like, go away, boy, you're bothering me. And so
that's a failure for sure.
Has found religion, God, Jesus, and all of the things that they denied knowing that they believe now. What if they found it a different way? What if that was God's way of them finding the way was not through organized religion?
Sure, but that doesn't mean that you need to be separated.
Organized religion and church are different things, though.
Yeah, that's different. That's different stuff.
Church, ecclesia, this Greek word, this common unity that is supposed to be there around Christ. Church is the bride of Christ. Church is not a specific building. I say pretty much every Sunday when I'm closing out in prayer, hey, we are leaving to go be the church. Church isn't what we've just done. We've done a worship service with a group of individuals, believers and non-believers. Now you're going out to be the church in your community. There are 61-ish one another commandments in the New Testament. That these individuals who say, I don't need the church, you are completely in violation of loving one another then, because it's done in a body. It's done now. That body is not necessarily brick and mortar. That body is not necessarily organized, but it's to be a follower of Christ.
Yeah,
to be a part of the church.
There's a component of this of that we are to interact with one another, and it doesn't have to be in a particular place, but
correct.
We are meant to.
And Deke, I want you and Ashley and the kids to come out to church. Come on, come to Lincoln Trail some Sunday.
That would be nice one time. I'm
all right. Let's
3 hours.
I've got some story. I might have to go a little early.
Yeah. Let's move on.
I have to host the show today, so I have your choice. We can either have a political story, an AI story, or a bridge story. Which one would you like?
Build bridges.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
you want to go to the bridge story?
Bridge. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you guys get any fear going across bridges? I've been around people who do. I think Ashley doesn't like. She doesn't have like a fear.
It occurs to me sometimes, like, what if this thing collapses? What if a truck hits this pylon? What if it?
Okay, well, JJ, you live where you live, and where Dave and I live might be a little different. Dave, do you have any old bridges still in operation?
They replaced the last old wooden bridge a couple of years ago.
I think there was one down in Hickman County, Kentucky, the farthest county west, and I think they had to replace one that was a long time.
There's one right outside of E-Town and White Mills.
Well, Maine used to have 120 covered bridges across its landscape. Now it had dwindled down to 9. Now we're at 8.5 because
half a bridge. Oh, half a bridge. Got you.
See? Well, this is what happens when you're driving your big Ford F-150 Super Dual Cab Hemi under the horsepower.
Oh, that's not an F-150 hole.
Well,
that is much bigger than F-1. You sure? That's bigger than F-150 hole.
Oh, okay. Once upon a time in Maine. Oh, once upon a time, Maine.
It's an F-750.
It's an F-750.
750.
I don't know. So
that's a massive. It's going to be a dually, and it's those trucks can be over 9,000 pounds empty, and depending on what was in the bed, they can be between 26,000 pounds and 37,000 pounds.
And cargo went into the water. Oh my lord!
It looks like acid.
Let's see if I can pull it up while Deke's over there.
I've got it
in
pulled
here.
up.
Yeah, you did. All right, here it is. Here it
Yeah.
is. Let's switch over to this one. Share. Overweight set Ford 750. So here's the thing. Let's see. Let's see.
The DOT says that this bridge is fixable, but the work won't be done until next spring, which means nearby residents will have to find an alternate route.
It's like my main way to get to work.
Okay. I just want to see the hole, lady. Did they have a picture of the truck?
Pull up a picture of a 750.
It's a bad hole right there.
Okay,
They
are you
have-
still
they
there?
have a
Yeah,
750.
I've got to run. I've got some surprises here
All right.
today, so I've got to run.
Okay. Good morning, Deacon. We'll see you. Okay. So, dude, truck went down that hole.
This truck is
That's
huge.
not good. Yeah.
No,
Do you have a
this
picture
thing
of
is
it?
huge. I'm pulling up images here.
Ford
It's like
750.
3 times the size. Man, this is. Come on, go to images. Yeah, we'll do.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Look at this dude. Okay. That's basically like,
Yeah, I can't see it if you're putting it on the screen.
sorry about that. Here you go. Share this page instead. It's basically like a,
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. The
a
semi.
semi truck with inferiority complex.
Yes.
Or some
The
sort of,
Napoleonic
uh,
semi truck.
yeah, some sort of, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's
Dude,
Geek Story. So
how did that thing even fit height wise under that bridge?
that one looks like it's lifted though, right? Like they're not all that big. They're
Look
not
at
all
all
like
the
that.
pictures there.
Okay, they are all kind of
Even
big
then,
like that.
yeah, I don't. They're much taller than the F-150 in the picture I saw. It had an F-150.
Do you think that
and then
guy
the F-750
feels?
right behind it?
Do you think the guy that was driving that truck? Do you think he feels worse that he wrecked this, bridge for this community, or that he put his truck in the water? Is he more inclined to feel bad for himself or for the people that he inconvenienced?
Convenience.
Do you think?
I think he's more mad about the truck because he probably just bought it.
Yeah, probably so. And probably owes a bunch of money on it. All right, let's move on. I got some other stories.
I
here.
had I threw in the 30-minute sleep story.
Okay, we'll get to that. I wanted to cover this. I really we're kind of it's still political. Forensic firm discovers security bugs and the Ukrainian national anthem written into the New Hampshire voter database. So, New Hampshire election officials hired a Connecticut-based IT firm to update its voter registration database ahead of this next election. The officials hired Reversing Labs to investigate the work that was completed. The firm later discovered software misconfigured to connect to servers in Russia and the use of open source code overseen by a Russian computer engineer convicted of manslaughter.
Huh.
Yeah. And a coder wrote the Ukrainian national anthem into the database software. They have not disclosed the vendor that outsourced this work. The security issues were resolved ahead of the 2024 primary election, according to this report. So we have the safest and most secure election system in the world. We have been told this many times for many years, in spite of the fact that we cannot audit it completely. But somehow, miraculously enough, somebody threaded that needle and they were able to get in there and mess up New Hampshire. But thankfully, our elected officials caught it. Aren't you grateful? I'm so grateful.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And let's see. That's a music story. I'm going to leave that for Deacon. And okay. So what is this story you had? A sleep story? Do you want to bring that up?
Yes, I will
Okay.
bring that up. Let's see here. I have the start screen share Japanese dad. Share
Let me
this.
stop
And now
sharing
I need
myself.
to go here and I need to pull this up to here.
Yep.
Presentation, right? Yes. All
Yep.
right. Japanese dad claims he sleeps 30 minutes each day for the last 12 years to double his life expectancy. So the way this works, this dude basically gets really active before he eats. He lives on Red Bull caffeine. Here we go. Hori relies remaining active and caffeine to keep awake and alert throughout his 23 and a half hour day. Supposedly, this dude has doubled his lifespan. I don't know who's tracking that.
Who's telling him that?
I got no clue. He enters all these contests to say he has the best body in Japan or whatever. We don't know where he finished because they don't say. But he has trained over 2,100 people, I believe. Yes. Hori founded the Japan Short Sleepers Training Association in 2016, where he reportedly has taught over 2,100 people to become ultra short sleepers. Supposedly 30 minutes of sleep, he wakes up feeling great.
Okay.
One of his students is saying she cut back 4 sleep 4 years ago. She went from 8 hours to just 90 minutes, and her skin and mental health are in great condition.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop sharing now because
dude,
how much sleep do you get a night?
Probably most nights probably 7 or 8 for sure.
I'm jealous.
In fact, I could look it up actually. Let me look it up.
I get around 6 hours of
you?
sleep a night on a good night.
Yeah.
I have sleeping issues. Last night I could not fall asleep. My legs just go crazy. Restless leg syndrome. I'm on meds for that. I can't sleep, and it doesn't matter what I do. I just don't drop. Now I'm hoping that with the cooler weather, it'll change slightly. Smash says he's not living any longer, just more hours where he can do things.
Well, I guess that does double your life, right?
Sure.
If you spend 30% of your life asleep. Yeah. So for the year 2022, so 2 years ago, let me check. I got 6 hours and 11 minutes to sleep on average. In the year 2023, I got 6 hours and 3 minutes of sleep on average. And this year, I'm getting 6 hours and 32 minutes of sleep on average. So yeah, I'm pretty consistent. I'd say about 6.5 hours.
And what do your sleep scores look like? Because I noticed I'm tracking that.
So I have the amazing superpower of my superpower is I go to sleep and I'm asleep, and
I hate you.
I'm not waking up.
Once I'm asleep,
I go to sleep, and then basically you can put my body in a casket because I'm not waking up until the next day, and that includes tornadoes, thunderstorms, my children crying. Apparently, no joke. Apparently, last night I went to sleep. My wife went to sleep. Kids went to sleep. But we had just got back from a trip, and kids' bed was messed up because all the stuff wasn't back where it was supposed to be. Apparently, my youngest daughter got up in the middle of the night, and my wife woke up my wife, and my wife was so drowsy that she said she could sleep in our bed, which we never let them co-sleep with us ever, not ever.
Right.
And she said, and so apparently, my kid was in my bed last night. I had no idea. I woke up, she had already been sent back to her room. So I woke up, I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't last I talked to you was yesterday.
My dog, when we had him when he was young still, probably about 50 pounds, he hopped up in our bed, and he often sleeps at the foot of the bed, or he'll go in his pen, which is at the foot of the bed. But he'll hop up on top of the covers. One night he decided to get up near us. It might have been storming or something, and he stepped on my throat, and I'm asleep. I went into like last action hero mode. I grabbed the dog, not knowing it was my dog, into a complete body slam headlock, and I felt so bad. If I'm asleep, you don't want to startle me. But yeah,
you one of those wake up and punch people.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like this.
I come out of bed ready for action.
All right,
but yeah, sleep. We need more sleep. Why 30 minutes? I don't get it. I'm not going to try this.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, and I don't believe his claim that he's more healthy. I mean, maybe he's more healthy right now, but I don't believe his claim that he's going to live longer. In fact, I think the opposite. I think he's going
to. Yeah, your heart's only guaranteed for so many beats, right?
Yeah, right. Okay. So with no music today because Deke had to bounce out, let's do jokes. Unless you got anything else.
I got jokes.
Oh, you know what? I look at this one other thing. Apparently, I haven't checked it out yet. Apparently, if you have a Fire TV or an Android TV, XTV, and if you don't know, we stream here, yes, on Rumble and yes on YouTube, but also I stream the show to my X account. So if you haven't already, you can go to the Internet Dads on Twitter, and if you're watching it on your TV, I think it would be cool. Send a photo in. That would be neat. So here is the X page. Sorry, I said Twitter. The X page. So that's me and my baby girl. That's me, Internet Dad Show, and then every morning we're streaming.
Look at us live.
Yeah. So this is us right now. No, this is us right then.
No, this is us a few seconds ago.
Right then,
watching
us now, watch us then, and now we are now watching us then. Now,
when will then be now?
And then in a moment, now is going to be then. So we have Twitter and X Inception. It's happening right now. In fact, look, my hand. See that?
Oh, wow! Oh, and like our head is over top of where we are on the screen.
Yeah, and then it's going to go. It's going to go again. It's going to go right there. Okay, all right. That's a little woozy. Anyway, apparently, if you have, I have an Amazon TV thing, and there's a couple of them out there, but you can get X TV now. There's an app for you to watch stuff on X on TV. It's the best. Also, please follow me on X. That's my social. It makes me feel good. All right. All right. Hey, you know what? Before we go, Dave, I'm gonna get your feedback. I've been writing a song. And I've done this before. We have a whole album called The Suckers. And I've been writing a song. And I wanted to get your feedback on it. Now, have you ever heard a sea shanty before?
Yeah.
Could you give me like an example of what a sea shanty is?
There once was a man who went to sea in the name of the man. Or the Wellerman song. Ah, crap. I can't think of the words now. I have a buddy of mine who he is drunk from the group Drunken Sailor. There are three guys, Drunk and Sailor. Yeah, he's great. His name in the band is Philip McGinnis, of course.
Philip McGinnis. Philip, yes, please. All right, so here is. Let me move this over here. This is a work in progress. My sea shanty. So.
Oh, Trump set sail with a ship so grand, a pirate's life he thought so bland. He hired a crew, but oh so wrong. Deep state lackeys singing a song with promises sweet that led him astray to a battle where he'd lose the day. From his ship, the Billy of Tea, came a call betrayed by thee. Then from his basement a figure rose, old Joe Biden with a crooked pose. With whispers and schemes he won the fight, leaving Trump in the dark of night. Oh, the winds of change, they blow so cold. In the tale of Trump, a brave and bold. But wait, there's more, the story's not done. For a new crew forms under the sun. Biden had helmed the ship its way, economy crashed in disarray. Wars he started across the sea and opened gates for all to flee. He sought to cage the pirate Trump with laws and courts, he'd make him jump. But Trump he laughed, I'll not be bound. For freedom's call I'll still resound. Oh, the winds of change, they blow so cold. In the tale of Trump, a brave and bold. But wait, there's more, the story's not done. For a new crew forms under the sun. Trump rallied then a crew so fierce, Buck, JD, and Musk the engineer. RFK Jr. and Tulsi too joined the fight, their spirits true. Together they sailed with hearts of fire against the deep state, their desire. A with monster dark and deep, and Kamala the puppet they defeat. With swords in which they fought the beast, their unity the key to feast the deeps. They fell with a mighty crash, Trump's crew triumphed in a mighty splash. Oh, the winds of change, they blow so bold. In the tale of Trump, we're brave and bold. But wait, there's more. This story's not done.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there.
Yep.
So, so I'm working on this story because I've heard of this mental figure of Trump assembling a pirate crew for this election. So, if which is you have Vivek Ramaswamy, who is running for president, who's a CEO and an entrepreneur, and he's obviously against the deep state and corruption and various things. You have J.D. Vance, who was a never Trumper and has since turned about and is pretty much America first. You have Elon Musk, who is classically moderate Democrat, who thinks that the Democrat Party has gone crazy, and so he has joined and endorsed Trump. You have RFK Jr., who ran a pretty strong campaign as an independent, but knows that they're being sabotaged by the Democrats. Even he has joined Donald Trump, and also Tulsi Gabbard. So they have this. You have this crew. There's this idea floating out there that Donald Trump is basically assembling a pirate ship for the presidential election. So I thought a sea shanty about that would be kind of good. So I'm working on that.
Slow the tempo down slightly. Like 5 beats, maybe even 10 beats. And because a shanty needs to have a little bit more. Imagine like swabbing a deck.
Might
be just.
I can't remember the name of that song, but the one you're talking about is the one that gave me the
Wellerman song.
Yeah, Wellerman song. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to trim some lyrics quite a bit. Like there's several verses here, but
it gets busy a few places.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm working on that, and once I get something that I really like, I'll put that out.
It's a fun concept
from the suckers.
I'll give you that. It's a fun concept.
I also want to make it like a little video. You know, a Monty Python style 2D kind of paper animation.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be super fun. Okay.
I agree.
All right, jump
Only
time.
if your Jolly Roger has hair. It needs to have and it needs to be orange. Like the Jolly Roger needs to be orange.
You want to have fun, start getting the AI to draw pictures of these people, Elon, J.D. Vance, RFK Jr., Trump, Tulsi Gabbard as pirates. It's fun. So waste a lot of time.
Did you sign up for XTV? Let me swing back to that.
I haven't yet. I need to put it on the TV.
I wanted to know what the fees are going to look like eventually.
Oh, is there fees? I just thought it was an app.
I think
it's just an app.
I don't know.
Because
the way I read it, they want to compete with YouTube TV, and YouTube TV is like $70 a month.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's what we use is YouTube TV.
On Engadget, it says that it's out in beta for Amazon Fire TVs, Google, and some LG TVs. I don't see anything about pricing here. Let's see if we can find something about pricing.
I looked a bunch, but I didn't know if you had. Since you, I think, aren't you like?
I mean, it might be.
Checker?
It might just be. Yeah, I mean, I have a check, but I think it may be just free. But there'll probably be ads and things like that. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about it. So everybody go check it out. And while you're there, follow me. Okay.
Give me a lot.
I'll look more into it tomorrow. Okay, so jokes. Joke time.
So it's September now. There's Halloween stuff going up. It's fall. I love this time of year. But I got to thinking. I just finished a book, and I always praise this book series, The Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. If you've never listened to them, do yourself a favor and listen to them. They are phenomenal. Read them, but I listen. At any rate, there's a vampire storyline, and occasionally, and it's the series is just so great. He's a wizard, and he's a private detective. All right, so what kind of coffee does a vampire drink?
I don't know, full-bodied?
Decaffeinated.
No, my God.
Oh, dude, that was
Yeah. Yeah. And so I drive my kids to school every day, and one of the things I do is I tell them to get in and buckle their seatbelts. And then a lot of times my kids say, I can't figure out how to buckle my seatbelt. I can't figure out how to buckle my seatbelt. And then it clicks. All right.
Professional dad jokes.
Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow. Promise, tomorrow we'll do better.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter